District 9?
No.
District 1?
No.
District 2?
No.
The motion to deny the appeal fails.
We move on? Right. We can just move on.
Well, now it's ripe for another motion.
If there is one.
If there is one.
Wait.
Keep rolling.
Your two options are to grant the appeal, and that would just approve the plat, or what I would recommend is you modify it, you grant it subject to all of the staff's conditions that y'all been talking about. The drainage impact analysis, it's all in your packet.
He has to do that anyway, don't they?
Yes. Right?
So according
Yes, they would have to
he
do
has
that anyway.
anyway.
Have to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
There's no reason.
Mr. Escott, I just need to know if I need to move forward or not. Can I move forward with the agenda, or do we have to take action on this
No, you
particular
can
item?
you should allow to entertain another motion on this appeal. You
If
haven't,
somebody wants
you
to
have
make-
not disposed of the appeal yet.
but it couldn't, but I guess my question, because I'm obviously the most invested in this because it's my district, is the appeal has been granted. They are allowed, they are allowed to move forward with their development. So what else could we vote on?
No,
I do have a motion. Councilman Castillo?
Motion to accept the appeal.
I have a motion to accept the
to
appeal.
grant the appeal.
Grant the appeal.
Grant the appeal.
Okay.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Boudreaux. Ms. Hebert, you have the floor for anything, or you're good?
So what is that vote?
That would allow the development to proceed forward.
So a vote no would say you don't want it to happen.
So
A vote
a yes vote will grant the appellant's request to reverse the planning commission's decision, all right, and a no vote would not.
Hey, Mr. Oates, you're good with this? I want both my attorneys to say we're doing this the right way before we vote.
Yeah.
So we're paying two of y'all, so let's go.
If the intention of the motion is to approve it with all of the conditions the staff recommended, that's fine. Just making that clear for everybody.
that's-
So the developer doesn't think he's just approved without having to comply with all that.
No, he's got to comply with UDC.
Regardless.
Yeah.
Mr. Boudreaux, you agree with that?
With that
Adding that
clarification,
in?
that's,
Yeah.
All right, we added that in. Mr. Espat, I got blessed by one. We're good to go?
I was talking yes, but I believe what he said, the intent was for the motion to be with the conditions of the zoning. Okay, then we're good to go.
Okay, 1 second, please. Councilman Nakane, you have the floor, sir.
With the condition, I didn't hear, would it be determined that they would have to have their own retention pond
No.
No.
in the back?
No, it's
On water.
one of the conditions is to do a drainage impact analysis.
Will that determine if they have to do something like
Yes.
that?
That will go to Public Works, and they'll make.
And that's in the motion that, okay.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Seeing none, please call for the vote.
District 3?
Yes.
District 3?
He said yes.
Yes. Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 6? District 7?
No.
District 8?
No.
District 9?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
The motion to grant the appeal is approved.
Now go to the announcements of vacancies on boards and commissions. Cindy, please read the vacancies.
Due to expiration, a vacancy exists on the Alarm Review Board for a 4-year term effective February 1st, 2019. Applicants must be a minority as defined by Louisiana Revised Statute 382233.2. Due to resignation, a vacancy exists on the Lafayette Airport Commission for the remainder of an unexpired 4-year term through October 31st, 2021. Applicants must reside in the unincorporated area of the Parish of Lafayette. Individuals wishing to submit a resume for the above volunteer vacancies must be a registered voter and a resident of Lafayette Parish. Yearly ethics training for all appointees is required as is financial disclosure under certain circumstances. Resumes are to be forwarded to Veronica L. Williams, Clerk of the Council, P.O. Box 4017-C, Lafayette, Louisiana 70502, or email to bclafayette@lafayettela.gov no later than noon, Tuesday, November 19th, 2019, with appointments to be made on December 3rd, 2019.
I'd like to move to considerations of appointments by the council as a whole or to boards or commissions. Cindy, please read the appointment.
Appointment to the Lafayette Parish Library Board of Control for the remainder of an unexpired 5-year term through December 31st, 2019.
The resumes received for consideration are from Stephanie Armbruster, Aaron Bass, Melinda Hazelwood, Julie LaFleur, Christy Malloyd, Rebecca Miller, Ashley Mudd. No incumbent submission. Councilman Nakhan.
I'd like to nominate Armbruster.
Councilman Nakhan nominates Armbruster. Councilman Castillo.
Nominate Rebecca Miller.
Miller is nominated by Councilman Castillo. Seeing Councilman Boudreaux.
Ashley Mudd.
Mudd has been nominated. Armbruster, Miller, and Mudd. Any public comment, Ms. Williams?
Stephanie Armbruster signed in only if you have questions.
Okay, we'll please call for the vote.
District 4,
Mudd.
District 5,
Armbruster.
District 7,
Miller.
District 8,
Miller.
District 9,
Armbruster.
District 1,
Armbruster.
District 2,
Miller.
District 3,
Miller.
there's not enough,
We need 5. We need a majority of 5, and we, 2 of them had the majority vote, so we would do a revote with the 2 who had the majority vote, those being Stephanie Armbruster and Rebecca Miller. So
Please
you
call.
would
Please
have
call.
to-
Go ahead.
You have to revote and select either Miller or Armbruster.
Go, Jerry, go.
For Armbruster or Miller?
District 4,
Miller.
District 5,
Armbruster.
District 6, District 7,
Miller.
District 8,
Miller.
District 9,
Armbruster.
District 1,
Armbruster.
District 2,
Miller.
District 3.
Miller.
Rebecca Miller is appointed.
Item number 28, please read, Cindy.
Appointment to the Lafayette Fire and Police Civil Service Board for a 3-year term effective July 26, 2019. Nominee list provided by the President of the University of Louisiana at Lafayette.
I'd like to announce that the nominees received for consideration are Allison Lawney, Wayne Prejean, Dwight Prudhomme, Dale Savoy. Prudhomme and Prejean are the incumbents for this item and the next. Councilman Nakhan.
Wayne Prejean.
Mr. Prejean has been nominated. Seeing no other nominations this time, any public comment?
No, sir.
Please call for the vote.
District 5,
Prejean.
District 7, District 8,
Prejean.
District 9,
Yes.
District 1,
Prejean.
District 2,
Prejean.
District 3,
Prejean.
District 4.
Prejean.
Wayne Prejean is appointed. Appointment to the Lafayette Fire and Police Civil Service Board for a 3-year term effective July 26, 2019. Nominee list provided by the President of the University of Louisiana at Lafayette.
Councilwoman Cook.
I'd like to nominate Prudhomme.
Prudhomme has been nominated. Councilman Nakhan.
Yeah, Dwight, that's good.
Seeing no other nominations, any public comment, Ms. Williams?
No, sir.
Please call for the vote.
District 7,
Prudhomme.
District 8,
Prudhomme.
District 9,
Yes.
District 1,
Dwight.
District 2,
Prudhomme.
District 3,
Prudhomme.
District 4,
Prudhomme.
District 5.
Yes.
Dwight Prudhomme is appointed.
We now move to introductory ordinances. I'd like to motion in a second from the council to introduce ordinances items 30 through 38 in globo.
So move.
Motion by Councilman Castillo, second by Councilman Terrio. Cindy, please read.
Ordinance 201-2019, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council adjusting the fiscal year 1920 adopted manning tables of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by abolishing current vacant positions. Ordinance 202-2019, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the fiscal year 1920 operating budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government and authorizing the administration to implement a 5% general pay increase for all employees of Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government, reporting to the Lafayette City Parish Council, reporting to the Lafayette Mayor President, and those classified under the City Parish Municipal Civil Service System. Ordinance 203-2019, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the fiscal year 1920 operating budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by increasing revenues in the amount of $30,795 received from the Louisiana Commission on Law Enforcement. authorizing the transfer of matching funds in the amount of $10,265 and Fund 101 and appropriating within the Lafayette Police Department. Ordinance 204, 2019, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the fiscal year 1920 operating budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by increasing reimbursement revenues from the state of Louisiana facility planning and control for government complex jail physical plant upgrade project number 50J2804B02 in the amount of $997,400 and appropriating within the Public Works Department for said project. Ordinance 205, 2019, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the fiscal year 1920 capital budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by transferring $50,000 from Moss Jefferson BNSF Railroad MTC and $60,000 from West Simcoe University Avenue North Pierce MTC within the Development and Planning Department Planning Division and appropriating to Simcoe Street Corridor Plan MPO. Ordinance 206, 2019, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending Chapter 86 Traffic and Vehicles of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government Code of Ordinances to add Article 11, Traffic Transit System. Ordinance 207, 2019, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending Chapter 89 of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government Code of Ordinances, the Unified Development Code, to further redefine the regulations set forth therein. Ordinance 208, 2019, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council adopting a pay plan for the Lafayette City Marshal Office for fiscal year 1920 and amending the budget adjusting the manning tables of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by authorizing the use of City General Fund prior year fund balance in the amount of $137,266 and appropriating within the Office of the City Marshal to implement said pay plan. Ordinance 209, 2019, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the fiscal year 1920 pay plan for the Lafayette Fire Department and amending the fiscal year 1920 operating budget and adjusting manning tables of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by authorizing the use of City General Fund prior year fund balance in the amount of $2,625,868 and appropriating within the Lafayette Fire Department to implement said pay plan.
Comments from the public concerning the above introductory ordinances?
We do have speakers and citizens who signed in first, which item number 31, which is the 5% increase for LCG employees. We did have one citizen who signed in who did not wish to speak but signed in to support the ordinance. We do have one speaker to sign in with reference to that ordinance, Ted Richard.
Hi, I'm Ted Richard. I want to support this raise. However, what I want to talk about is the fact that I think that we need to actually upgrade the pay structure for the entire LCG department, LCG as a whole. What's been happening is LCG employees have to wait to see if they're going to get a raise or not based on if the council votes for them to get a raise or not. I think that hurts the retention of really, really good employees. I'll take, for example, the base starting salary of a cashier is $9.97. If that employee works for 20 years at that cashier position, the most that employee could ever make is $14.95. I don't think that that's a way to keep qualified employees. I think that we need to look at the pay structure of the way that we pay our LCG employees and change it to a merit-based system. I think that that's the only way that we're going to keep our employees employed. Yes, the LCG employees received a 2% raise last year, but the last time they received a raise was back in 2015. I don't think that I, as an employee, would keep a job very long if I didn't even know that I was going to get an annual evaluation or not, and if I was going to get a raise based on that annual evaluation. I don't think that that works. Another thing that I would like to propose or like for you guys to consider is actually raising the minimum wage of what we actually pay the LCG employees. And I want to use your salaries as an example. the least paid of you among there, up there, according to the 2018 audit, is $25,480. At that rate, you make $12.86 an hour. That's more than over 1/4 of the LCG employees right now make. If you worked 40 hours a week doing this job. So I just want to leave that up there for you to consider, that if you worked at this job 40 hours a week, already make more than 1/4 of the current LCG employees. So I hope that you guys will work with the current mayor-president and work with the future incoming mayor-president and the new city council and parish council to see what we can do to make sure that our employees are taken care of on a regular basis, not just based on, oh, we have a little bit of extra money, we're going to give some to you. Because that's kind of what it sounds like, that's what's been happening, and I don't think that that's the best way to keep the best employees in our employees. So thank you all so much for y'all's time. Yes.
1 second. Councilman Lewis, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. From what I'm hearing, you say something about a merit raise, a different structure for the employees.
Correct.
I don't know, maybe Loris one can answer that question for me, or Human Resources. Employees get evaluated every year?
They do get evaluated, but since I have been here, they have not gotten a merit raise. It's been an across-the-board raise, given, lately it's been whether you're LCG in civil service, but it's just been an across-the-board raise unless you're in the uniform services, where every 4 or 5 years there's an adjusted pay plan.
So when the employee gets evaluation, I don't know what the scale or the levels are from, average or 1, 2, I don't know how they are rated, but it's just rated with just a number or average saying that, but it's nothing that comes with it. As far as a dollar amount or nothing comes with it. No. Just numbers or average or superior or poor performance.
That's correct. Even the uniform service positions, they don't get a merit raise. That has not been in the budget. I don't know if it's ever been in the budget in Lafayette. I have a little chart that's been requested quite often lately that goes back to 2003 maybe, and
Yeah.
that doesn't show any merit raises over that time.
Again, since I've been on the council for the last 3 years, I know sometimes directors come and they would like to give some employees a raise or for training or something like that. So what we are calling that, it's not a merit raise, just what, a happy raise? What is that called?
That is, sometimes directors will come to you for various adjustments based on the person is doing different job duties and maybe they reclassified that position. But if you have a really great employee that does a great job and they've been in that job for 10 years, they're never reevaluated unless they actually change positions when they change. So if I have accounting specialist 1, well, they're never reevaluated to be classified. They can work in that position 10 years, have 10 years experience, but the only time they reevaluate it is if they apply for a different position to leave.
So, sir, I guess what you guys need to do is get some type of group of people, organization to work with Ms. Toops and someone so we can perhaps maybe try and correct that or do something.
I think that would be great, because I mean, I'll take this back from before I retired. I got into a position where my secretary had been with the company for 15 years and wasn't even making $10 an hour. And I refused to take the job until she got paid what she deserved, which was at least $15 an hour. And she got the raise and I took the job. But I mean, I think that we need to treat, even though they are civil servants and they work for the city or for the parish, with respect, we need to treat them as valued people. And I don't think that they're being treated as valued people, especially when we constrain the amount of money that they can make.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Thank you all so much for your time.
Next speaker, please.
Under intro, next group of speaker cards is under item number 37, the city marshal pay plan. We did have 2 citizens who signed in who did not wish to speak, who supports the ordinance. We did have 1 speaker, City Marshal Mike Hill.
Just moved to introducing Globo, Mr. Ballard. Nobody who knows me will believe I'm going to.
Can you please go to the mic, sir?
Pardon me.
That's okay.
I'm the city marshal again. Since the motion, as I understand it, was introducing Globo, nobody who knows me will believe this, but I'm going to waive my right to say anything.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker, please.
Next set of blue cards is under intro item number 38, which is the fire department pay plan. We did have 122 people who signed in support of the ordinance. We do have 3 speakers signed in to speak, the first of which is Emery Bork, followed by Jason Benoit.
Good evening. My name is Emery Bork. I was an employee of the Lafayette Fire Department for 13 years. I'm the wife of a firefighter, the mother of 2 firefighters, and a citizen of this great city of Lafayette. I'm here tonight in support of the Lafayette Fire Department and the pay plan they are proposing, but also to stress the importance of always putting public safety on the top of any budget issues that you're voting on. Honestly, how could you ever consider funding one without funding the other? These 2 departments, fire and police, well, they go together. Even though their job descriptions may differ, the services they provide to each and every one of us in our time of need is vital, priceless, and extremely necessary. Their unselfish dedication, I feel, is second to none. In getting back to the Lafayette Fire Department, as a wife and mother, I would also like to add that not many people realize the many sacrifices our firemen make to provide fire protection and rescue services for each and every one of us. This protection helps us in various ways. It helps keep our insurance rates down, yes, but even more important than that, one day they may be called out to save your life, your property, or even the life or property of your loved ones, without considering any of the dangers they may be faced with. And with little to no concern for themselves, they will respond to your needs with much enthusiasm. I have personally witnessed this day in and day out. I would also like to mention that the woman who was caught in the recent June floods, well, she is alive and well today because of their quick and unselfish desire to put the lives of others ahead of their own. This is just one of the countless ways they serve all who are in need. And they do this kind of stuff over and over again. Once again, I encourage you to put first things first. Like anything in life, if you put first things first, God provides for the rest. Fund both fire and police pay plans because it is the right thing to do. I thank you in advance for doing the right thing in this matter and for your time to hear what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next speaker, please.
Jason Benoit, followed by the final speaker, Stacy Judice.
Good evening, Council. Jason Benoit, President, Lafayette Professional Firefighters Association. I won't keep you long. I'm glad I got to follow Amy because she basically said, everything that I wanted to say. I'd put Lafayette Fire Department against any fire department in the state. We're highly trained. We respond to a lot of different things. Our motto is to save life and property, and that's what we do. So I'm just here to implore you to pass this, and please pass this pay plan for the firefighters. $30,000 for a starting firefighter, I don't feel is a deserving pay to raise their family. So please support us, and thank you for your service.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker, please.
Stacy Judice, final speaker.
So I was going to pass, but I do want to speak to y'all because I want y'all to do a little homework over the next 2 weeks before you approve or not approve this pay plan. So 20 years ago, I stood right here at this podium. I don't know if it was this one, but it was one similar. And we were talking about a fire pay plan for the fire and police department. And of course, because I'm a fireman's wife, I was in support of the fire pay plan. So the firemen at that time were very close in parity to the police. And they were asked 20 years ago to kind of sit back for a year, let the police get their pay plan, and the fire would get it the next year. Well, that didn't happen. The police got their pay plan, but the fire never got their pay plan. So that's how the pay gap has happened just over the years. And you see it on your books, there is a pay gap. So I know what I want to kind of go for today is kind of discuss just maybe some of the things that you hear. Well, a policeman's job is more dangerous than a fireman. Or how about, well, firemen can work part-time, meaning they don't need to make the same thing as police. Well, I think those are ignorant comments, and I'm going to tell you why. So a police officer can work part-time, but their part-time in security makes far more than a firefighter's part-time. And let's say that a member of the Lafayette Fire Department gets hurt on duty, there is no part-time work that can be had. So that means they're making it on a fireman's salary that the Lafayette City pays them, and there's no part-time. So if you're paying them a salary and you're saying, oh, well, their part-time will make up for that. If they're hurt on duty and they're hurt for a year, then there is no part-time, and you left a family in need. So how about danger? So I took the time over the last week to interview 17 captains with Lafayette Fire Department. And here's my challenge to you. I want you to do the same in the next 2 weeks. So I asked a question. How many times in your career have you faced a near-death experience? Out of 17 captains, the answer was 63 incidents. Okay? So 63 incidents, and they could tell you pretty much the time, the date, the address, and exactly what happened. So if you are in control of these men and women's livelihood, I suggest that you start to open your ears and listen to them and to their struggles. Walk in their shoes for 2 weeks. Interview them. And let's look at their pay stubs. Imagine trying to pay your bills with what they make. And before you decide in a few weeks if they're going to get pay raises, hear them, understand them, and see where they're coming from. Do you really think these men and women want to spend 20 years of their career fighting for just pay? That's not it at all. So here's another number I want to leave you with. Since 20 years ago, since I stood here, there are 5 men who have passed away on the Lafayette Fire Department. They were retired firemen, and they passed away shortly, real shortly. Some of them were forced to retire. And that is from cancer. And those deaths are far related. At this time last year, they had 2 firefighters on the line fighting for their lives and fighting to get into remission from cancer. And guess what? They couldn't work part-time. So they were trying to survive with all those additional medical bills on the fire line and not working. There was no part-time. They couldn't bring that in. So with what y'all pay them, they were trying to survive. When a public servant hangs up their badge, his or her badge, they normally don't have to worry about their career following them. Look around this room at all you members of the Lafayette Fire Department, include Jay Castile, because he did it too for years and years. Look around the room. They could possibly save your life, your family's life tonight, in an accident, in a fire, cardiac arrest, an overdose. It happens all the time. But the chances of their careers following them in a negative way are higher than any other public servant in this city, in this state, and in this country. And that is fact. You can look up the statistics on it. And for that reason alone, I believe it's time that you give these brave men and women what they deserve. If the fire chief and the police chief make the same amount, then the people under them should make the same amount. Don't let history repeat itself and let the fire department be left behind again. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other speakers?
No, sir.
I'd like to join the regular council meeting.
You need to vote to intro.
I'd like to reopen this council meeting. I'd like to call for the vote to introduce in globo items 30 through 38.
District 8? Yes. District 9? District 1? Yes. District 2? District 3? Yes. District 4? Yes. District 5?
Yes.
District 7? Yes. The motion to introduce is approved.
I'd like to join the regular council meeting.